Hello interwebs and welcome back to another vlog. It's been a little while. I always say it's been a little while because I'm not super good at vlogging. I would love to be one of the kind of people that's like so good at like walking through like Target with a camera that's like, oh, we're gonna go shopping and here's the things that I do with my life, because I feel like a lot of my life is pretty interesting and I do some really cool stuff, but then I get in public and I'm actually very shy in front of people, and so I go to like get my camera out and I'm like, everyone's staring, and then I just put it away and I don't vlog. But I'm vlogging now because I'm in my house and no one can see me. Yay! Yes, so I wanted to talk about something today that is a comment and a question that I get all of the time when someone new is starting up a YouTube channel and they're asking for advice. So the comment that I get, the question that I get is, how do you deal with comments online? Hateful comments, constructive criticism, nice comments. You know, we all have been told if you're going to go into YouTube, you have to develop a thick skin, and you have to be able to deal with people leaving hateful / hurtful comments on your videos, on your channel as a whole, whatever the case may be. Nobody is immune to this. If they look like they're immune to it, it's because they do a super good job at policing their YouTube comments, but not a single person on YouTube, I don't think, has gone without a negative comment on their channel at least once. It's unfortunate, but it does happen. So there's two things that I have either always said. Either one, you don't look at them, or you just delete them and look at the people who are positive and look what they have to say, and if they're offering constructive criticism, then take that. But if their constructive criticism is like, you suck, that's not constructive criticism at all. While I appreciate your feedback, that's not really going to help me not suck in the future. So either, you know, you can just ignore them, or you can pull out what little bits of helpful information there might be in a video. So sometimes people will leave a negative comment that'll say like, I can't stand watching this, it's so annoying because they have a really bad mic. Okay, you did start off awful, but you said that the reason why it's annoying is because the mic is bad, so I can deduce that my mic quality maybe could be better. So I can increase my mic quality, and then hopefully that person in the future will be more satisfied with the videos. So you can kind of pull out comments sometimes. A lot of times you can't. But earlier this week, I was talking with a group of YouTubers, and we were talking about people who leave comments, and sometimes they'll leave a comment and it may very well be constructive criticism, but for one reason or the other, we are unable to take that advice. So as a YouTuber, sometimes people will say like, hey, I really think you need to do more single solo Let's Plays on your channel, like just me, just a map, nothing else. And it's not that I don't find that feedback valuable, it's that for one reason or the other, either I have a series planned and it's not gonna come out for a while, or I'm trying to get something up and running, or maybe I just don't enjoy doing single Let's Plays very often, or I've done them in the past and gotten so much negative comments on those videos that I've chosen in the future going forward not to do them. So sometimes people feel like we don't listen. And so one thing led to another, and we got to talking about how we view comments, how we respond to them, what we do, what we listen to, and how we deal with this. And the one thing that I couldn't really understand in talking with these YouTubers and in talking with different various people about comments that we get on our videos, the one thing that I couldn't understand why no one points out is how people who leave these comments think they're being portrayed. So somebody, there was an Instagram account that I follow that tweeted something along the lines of, it was a quote, and it basically was something along the lines of, the way you make other people feel about themselves says more to do with you than it does with them. Basically meaning, if you consistently go out and try to make people feel badly, you probably feel very badly about yourself, and even if you don't, that is the perception that people get from you. So I've seen it on my own videos where someone will say something really negative, and before I even have the time to read the comment or remove it if it's like super vulgar, people have responded back and said like said something back to them that wasn't just like, hey, that was really mean, but pointing out about themselves, like, wow, you must not be too smart, or you whatever, which let's take a break and say, like, I don't condone ever calling people out on their negative behavior, because I don't think it does anything positive. Like, you just then in turn make them feel bad about themselves, which is what they did to me, so you're no better than them. Just, if you see it, just downvote it and it'll get taken care of. But so what I don't understand, and maybe this is a video not to the people getting hate, because I feel like there's so many videos out there that are telling people, hey, here's how you can deal with these comments, or know that it's okay, which is a very important topic and something that I highly encourage any new YouTuber to read. But today, I perhaps wanted to just talk to the people who leave negative comments. Maybe you're one of them. Maybe you don't like me and you've watched my videos before and you're like, I just absolutely hate that girl. You know what? You are entitled to that opinion. Like, I don't expect everyone to like everyone all the time. And you are, even if you don't like some part of content that I do, please tell me. But the difference between leaving a negative comment and a constructive criticism is offering the ability for me to fix it. If you just say, like, you're annoying, okay, why? Did I do something? Do you not like my sense of humor? Is my sarcasm too dry? Tell me what it is about the content that you don't like. Some people are always going to just say things because they're being hateful because they can, because it's the internet and because they can hide through a screen. And again, I don't condone that, but I understand it to a certain degree. So I think that it's time for people who leave negative comments, and maybe you've done it yourself, but when you look at that person and you leave that negative comment, the way that you are being perceived about yourself says more than what you're ever saying about me. I can look at that comment all day long and maybe it makes me upset, or maybe it makes me think about the way that I've acted or something that I've done, but it more so reflects on you, because the way that you choose to say your words, the way that you choose to voice your opinion, you can do it in a positive way or you can do it in a negative way. Anything can be said in a positive manner. You can not like a certain type of content creator or a YouTuber and going to their channel and being like, hey, you know, I'm not really a fan of your content. I watched this video. Here's why I just didn't understand your brand of humor, or whatever the case may be. That's fine, and that is well and good. But when you add in comments that replace the constructive criticism type things with, like, you suck, you're annoying, name calling in any given way, you're not providing a solution to that person. And the number one thing you can always do in life is grow. You can always make changes, you can always become a better person, you can always do that. And as content creators, I know some people don't, but I personally look at comments, and there have been times where I say things like, I'll tell someone like, oh, get wrecked, or like, oh, please get on my level. And when I'm saying it, it's not because I like actually think, wow, I'm better than this person. Most of the time, all of the time actually, it's my brand of sarcasm, because I don't ever expect to win, and because I feel like I'm not good at a lot of things. So when I win, it's this ironic sarcasm, like, ah, get wrecked. I don't really intend to like hurt someone's feelings. But after getting that comment several times on several videos, like, wow, she's a really bad winner, whatever, and they're a minority, but I look at that and I think, you know what, I'm not portraying myself in the best light. And because of constructive criticism, like, you know, Ari, you didn't really win very gracefully that time, even though I didn't mean it in the way that they took it, I can still take that to heart. And you guys will see an upcoming series where when I win, I'm almost overly cautious and sensitive about what I say when I win a game, because I don't want to be perceived as like, wow, you suck and I'm better than you, because I don't feel that way. I never feel that way, and I try to consider myself a pretty humble person, but sometimes the sense of humor and the way that I phrased things in the past didn't come across that way to viewers. So there are times where I have looked at my behavior and said, like, you know what, if I'm going to try to be a better role model, or I'm going to try to be a more humble, graceful person and appear that way online as I feel I am in real life, there are certain things that I can change about myself. So those are definitely things that you can leave in comments on videos, and you can do that. And there are ways that people may respond to that and be like, oh yeah, you just don't know her, whatever. But I think the trigger for all of this is that I was recently watching a friend of mine's channel, and she had done a collaboration, and a lot of the comments in her video were from a lot of angry people that for just no reason, like just literally no reason, we're talking about like, I hate her, I can't stand her, just overly negative. And I'm looking at these comments and being like, do you understand? Like, she may for fractionally be upset that day about those comments, but everyone from now on is going to go back and be like, wow, that person's super rude. Like, that, you appear rude in your comments when you say something rude online, and whether or not that's how you act in real life, that's your persona, that's attached to you. And those are comments where you think people don't look at that, but when you tweet them and then you go to look for a job, an employer goes to your Twitter account, because believe me, they do that, and they see all of these hateful, jealous, very rage-filled tweets that you send to some random person you've never met before. That looks super negatively on you, and it'll look bad in job interviews, whether you're 13 and you do it now, or you're 18 and you do it now. 13 maybe not so much, but when you're 16, employers look at that stuff. Other people look at that stuff. Going on dates with people for the first time, you're like, oh, I'm gonna go check out this dude's Facebook, and you go to his Facebook page and he calls girls like negative names all the time, or he refers to people in ways that are just not very attractive. No matter how nice he is to you in real life, that I don't want to associate with that person who's that rude. So I think my whole point in this video was maybe to spin a different perspective on how comments are perceived, not by the content creators and not how I deal with them, but how your community is dealing with them. It's not just me reading these comments. I read them. I read them all. But I take what I can constructively out of the comments, and I leave the rest open for public discussion. And hey, do you get trolls? Do you get comments? Are you a mean commenter? If so, why? Why are you fueled to leave these negative comments that have no way for me to change or improve in order to maybe appease whatever it is about my video you didn't like that time? I will read all of those comments and I will take them into consideration, but it's not just me doing that. It's your community. It's people who know you, people who see you comment, people who want to see what you've commented on other videos because of what you've said, and can go to your YouTube profile and say, like, this person doesn't have a nice thing to say about anybody. That reflects on you, and some of you just don't care, which, whatever, to each their own. Like, I wish sometimes that I had less cares to just give about things like that, but I do. I care a lot, and I care about my community. I care about the gaming community. I care about how we're represented online, because as an older adult and having people be like, oh my god, you're a gamer, and then they go and they see this, they don't understand it, and that's not what our community is about. So I do care, and I want everyone to be as fortunate as I am, because I typically have super positive comments on my videos. I don't ever feel like, oh god, I can't go look at the comments on this video because I'm so scared. A lot of YouTubers I know have that fear. A lot of YouTubers I know that I've collabed with have been like, yeah, so just don't read the comment section on my videos, which is a super sucky feeling. Like, I am so glad that I have this awesome, amazing community of people who are not jerks and who leave great comments and who, for the most part, breed positivity in the comments, and I've tweeted about it 100 times. Thank you all so much for being positive, but not everybody is that fortunate, and I don't know why that is. So again, another public service announcement to all you haters. I hate the like haters gonna hate thing, because then we're like basically accepting the fact that people can leave obnoxious comments and you just have to accept it and it's a part of life. And I'm not saying, again, I feel like I should say this clearly, like into the camera. If you do not like a caster, if you do not like content, you are entitled to your opinion, but what you cannot do ever in any public forum, private forum, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, at all, you are not entitled to make someone feel badly about themselves. You don't have to like me. You don't have to like another caster. You don't have to like my content. You are entitled to tell me in my comments, I feel anyways, this isn't like a policy thing, this is just my personal opinion. You are entitled to tell me in my comments, hey, I'm not a fan. Here's why. I don't like your mic quality. Right now my air conditioner kicked on. I'm sure you guys can hear it. I'm a complete professional, obviously. You're entitled to tell me those things in the comments, but what you're not allowed to do is name call, demean, degrade, berate, whatever you want to do in a comment section to make you feel better about yourselves. In order to do that, you feel like someone else has to feel bad about themselves in the process. Those are things that you are not entitled to do. But you don't have to like everybody. It's life. You are not going to like people. Sometimes we're related to people we don't like, and that's okay. Like, everyone's afraid to like say it, but it's okay. You don't have to be friends with everyone. But please go forward on the internet and breed growth and positivity and constructive criticism where it is deemed necessary, and in ways that is appropriate, and in ways in which you do not make somebody feel inferior or bad about themselves or bullied in the process. So know that people don't just look at the comment and skip past it. Sometimes they're going to look at your profile, and sometimes people will say something hurtful back to you. And if you're fine with that, then you're fine with it. But karma, especially karma on the internet, has a way of coming back. And so, keywords, treat others as you wish to be treated. If you don't want someone to do that to you and you get offended or you get defensive when someone says something back to you, like you've commented on someone's video, well, there's the reasons why. If you expect someone to be nice to you, you should be nice to others. And to cap that all off, to all new YouTubers, to everybody, there is a quote that I love, and I'm pretty sure it's by Eleanor Roosevelt. I don't have it pulled up in front of me, so please don't get angry with me if I'm wrong. But the quote is, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." So comments can hurt, but you're letting them hurt you, and it's hard. I don't have a thick skin. I have cried, y'all. I have cried over some YouTube comments. But you know what I did? I looked at it again. I reanalyzed it. I've analyzed videos on other people's channels where I have been absolutely just torn to shreds. And it hurts, man. It is not a good feeling. But I look at those comments and I think, what have I done wrong? What are they saying? They're saying that they didn't like the video, or me in the video specifically, because I was what? Too loud, I talk too much, which y'all, I know I talk too much. I'm working on it. It's a personal resolution. I'm gonna try. She talks too much. Her mic was bad. This happened, that happened. And I look at those comments and I grow from them. Just like we talked about a couple of minutes ago, I looked at the way that I was saying things in my sense of sarcasm and realizing that that didn't apply to everyone and not everyone understood that as sarcasm. So I've tried to change the way that I phrase things. Not my personality, it's still the same, but the words that I choose are maybe slightly different because I don't want to come across a certain way to certain people. So that being said, thank you all again for the consistent positivity, for making my YouTube channel and my YouTube comment, our YouTube comments and our YouTube audience and our community, and a place where I don't have to worry about collabing with someone because they might get negative comments on my video. I am so grateful for that, and I cannot say that enough times. And to people who are not huge fans of me, that's okay. You're still welcome here. We will love you and embrace you. And even though you're cranky, we'll feed you cupcakes and let you ride on our unicorns. It's fine. You're welcome. We love you. Even though you may not love us, you just don't know it yet. But you will. It's okay. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Leave comments below if you've like dealt with this stuff before. If you are a meanie, tell me why you're a meanie. Maybe I will learn something and then I won't have to do PSAs anymore. Alright guys, bye!